Hey guys, Luke here, and welcome back to episode 7 of my Ultimate Team Road to Glory on FIFA 16. Now this episode, as you can see here, we're starting it off with a foot draft. So this is the first time attempting a draft, and I wasn't exactly sure on what the foot draft is. I've seen little things on YouTube, but haven't really paid attention too much to Ultimate Team this season. I mean, look, I've only just started this one. We're only a few games into this series, as well as ever playing it, because I hadn't played Ultimate Team on FIFA 16 up until this point of recording. So this is the last set of games I've actually played currently at the time of recording, so everything's still relatively fresh. But in the draft mode, you saw last episode, if you've seen that, we actually got a pretty decent side. I think we got a purple Ronaldo. I'm assuming that's like man of the match Ronaldo or something. And we got inform Neymar, we got Alexis Sanchez, we got inform De Bruyne, we also got Gert. So we got a few like awesome players. We got Benzema as well, Cruz, a whole bunch of different players. And judging by this other guy's side, he didn't really get quite as lucky. Didn't have like a terrible side by any means, but I think we had the better side. And as you can see, 16 minutes in, we take full advantage of that. He does have a few good players there, but like I said, I think we got a little bit better, although you wouldn't think so. Just a few minutes after scoring the first goal to put us ahead, we ended up giving away a penalty. It was such a sloppy goal. But Valdez, the man, well, actually, really, it's not the keeper. I don't know why I'm talking if the keeper did that. I went straight down the middle. I thought this guy, he seems pretty decent, so I thought maybe he'd go down the middle. So I just did the up on the right analog stick. That way, as if they do the whole thing where they shoot a little bit higher and it still goes over the keeper's head for some reason. So we did avoid that. However, they did end up scoring. I think it was with their Neymar as well. So the two Neymars going pretty well. And Ronaldo for us, actually, it's funny. It's pretty funny. Like Ronaldo usually been so dominant on other FIFAs whenever I've used him. Yet on this, I've used him a few times now, including this, this man of the match one or whatever it is, and I just don't find him to be all that dominant compared to other games, which I suppose is a good thing. But we do have the lead. It was a pretty simple goal. Actually, it wasn't really a simple goal, but Benzema just struck it with a lot of power. And you can see right here, we're going to launch a bit of a counter-attack. Now, they had a corner, but it ends up with Toni Kroos, who isn't exactly the person you want on a counter-attack, but nonetheless, he's pretty good with those sort of things. That nice little pass there. And we probably could have just did the through ball over to Benzema, whoever it was, but we went for the cheeky little dink over the keeper, put it wide. Now, right here, Goetze should have finished it off. It would have been game over there. But the guy still lives to fight another day at this stage. We've got Douglas Costa here on the right wing. We haven't brought on Sanchez at this point, and that is something I didn't talk about as well. So Neymar wasn't in the side originally for chemistry reasons, because obviously he's a left wing, and we did end up substituting off our other striker. These names like Casinos, I don't know exactly who he is, to be honest. Well, I know who he is because of Football Manager and stuff, but I don't know the pronunciations. And yeah, I butchered it just before. He's a Dutch player, and he's like 75 rated or something. He just doesn't fit our side. When you got people like Ronaldo, you want to get Ronaldo in at striker, or Neymar, you want to get them on the field. And who knows, maybe De Bruyne will come into the side at some point. Maybe Alexis Sanchez will come into the team at some point, obviously off the bench for chemistry reasons. But yeah, a very impressive, well, I wouldn't say it was a super impressive first up win, but it was pretty decent. That gives us our first win. It looks as though you can only have 4 wins, so I'm pretty sure I don't think you can go any further than that. And even if we do, it won't be on this episode. Now, I know I said last episode that if we happen to win all 4 games or whatever, we will go ahead and show all 4 games, and I lied. We'll only be showing a maximum of 3 games this episode. So we have to get through this game before we get to the last one, and if we don't, it will be just showing a regular sort of season game or a tournament mode, whatever. So yeah, we started this game pretty strongly. Once again, we did end up subbing on Neymar as soon as we got the first chance. Now right here, this is quite interesting. Now we selected Abdenor as centre back, and he would have been putting this guy on side originally, and I figured he might have went for the quick free kick, just because of our defense was so out of shape, and there were no players around. Look, he had a clear run through on goal just there. So I thought we need to play sort of an offside trap, but it was only the player I was controlling who was offside. So I decided to sprint up, make sure my guy was going to make this guy offside, and he played the ball through, and then he went and scored, and I was thinking for like half a second, oh shit, I fucked it up. But no, it was all good, and yeah, we ended up just playing him offside. Now we just hit the crossbar, I think just moments before that, and we got another free kick. Now I think the guy must have thought I was going to be, taking another shot at goal. We had a few shots at goal. I think there was even another free kick that I didn't actually show, which went a little bit over over the bar, but nonetheless it got the guy worrying, which is what we wanted, and we had a pretty good set move sort of there. It's not the exact sort of set move that it's something that you see on clubs a lot actually, where you have a player sort of standing standing near the plate, and you can get a shot on goal, and that play was Benzema, and once again that's Benzema right there scoring his second goal of the game, putting the game out of reach for this guy, and he realized that and he ended up deciding to quit, which I can't really blame you. It is quite shit playing in this sort of mode when you're going to be losing, and he wasn't going to be winning, and I was totally fine with him quitting, although I mean don't be one of those guys who quit all the time as soon as you lose. Although that's another 633 coins for us. It is something that I haven't really talked about. It's not something I was thinking about when using this sort of side. Now I believe because I used it the first time token, I already had a token to go in and play the foot draft. But I believe if you want to go and play it again, it actually costs 15,000 coins or so. Now I'm not sure if that's worth it or not, but I gotta say this was very, very fun. Now moving into the third and last match of the episode, we've got this guy. He's wearing a Swedish kit by the looks of things, and he's got a pretty decent side by the looks of things. He's got Messi and he's got Vidal. He's got an informed keeper from Schalke. I'm not sure exactly who it is. Only really know Leno and stuff from there, and I think he had someone up front who was really good. Oh yeah, was it Neymar maybe? I can't remember who exactly it was. He had another good informed striker up front as well. So well, anyways, my point is this guy has a really, really top side. He also had Rafael on the ball. Oh, it's actually Marco Reus in the side there. So yeah, we definitely had keep an eye on this guy. Definitely was a good play. You can see there Ronaldo shopping. He knew what he was doing, and I found that coming into this game, the draft players seem to be a lot better. Now I assume it was just because if you're playing in the draft mode, you kind of know what you're doing, rather than playing in Division 10, people probably just got the game. So definitely was a step up in class in terms of taking on people, and you saw right there, the dude ended up taking the lead there very, very early on. It was due to a penalty. Just dumb stuff. I come in a little bit too often, a little bit too keen to get a tackle in, which sometimes it works out perfectly, other times it results in a penalty, which it has been resulting in a penalty quite often. So it kind of tells me that the better the players are, obviously the more I need to sort of just let the things play out rather than go in for the tackle. But it is so hard, especially through all the other Fifas, when that's just what I've been doing now. We ended up hitting the crossbar before. It was super unlucky, and I was kind of thinking this just isn't going to be my game, is it? But it's starting to sort of come back to us. We were under pressure for most of the first half. At the back end of the first half, it was all us. So I mean, there was a little bit of hope, and right here we're going to put the ball through to Ronaldo, and he should finish it. Well, he would have finished it if the keeper didn't just crash tackle him, really. He completely took him out here. So it is Ronaldo up against Farman, I think his name is. I don't know the pronunciation, but that's what it looked like in the bottom left-hand corner. And Ronaldo, he comes up with the goods there. He finishes off the penalty straight down the middle, just how he wanted. And it was not just down the middle, but it was also up a little bit as well, just in case if they just literally just don't touch the stick. Now right here, Ronaldo had a chance to score a late winner. Fortunately, the keeper ended up saving it. Now Toni Kroos has another chance here, and this is going to be a bombardment of pressure here. Just so many chances. Once again, that is a brilliant save by his keeper slash crossbar. I'm not sure which one it was, but the ball, it does get pretty lucky to fall to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's shot is saved, as well as Benzema's follow-up was also saved there. So we were actually looking at going to extra time, but can we steal it right here? Kevin De Bruyne should finish it, and there was a little bit of a block there. And yeah, super unlucky, and that did take us to extra time. It was really annoying. I was thinking, man, we had that onslaught. It's just going to be one of those games where we need to take advantage of all our opportunities at the end there, and we're not going to be able to do that. Thankfully, though, it is going to fall back to Benzema, who's going to square it across there to Kevin De Bruyne, who actually did come off the bench. I didn't mention that earlier, but yeah, he did come off the bench, as well as Neymar, all that sort of stuff. So we got the lead, and we're feeling pretty comfortable here. We get the ball back to Kevin De Bruyne, and once again, just squaring it across. It is Toni Kroos who ends up scoring the third goal of the game, and that pretty much wraps it up. Well, it does wrap it up, in fact. And there's a 3-1 victory. His only goal came from the penalty, although I did feel he could have scored 1 or 2 more goals. Maybe a little bit unlucky, but I mean, we had an abundance of chances at the end there, so we probably should have won by a lot more, not even taking it to extra time. So maybe we got a little bit lucky, and yeah, we got another 1,000 coins because we ended up getting a coin boost evidently at some point, which I didn't mention. But that's our 3rd win, and moving into next episode, we'll be playing the 4th game of the draft. I don't know exactly what you win, and I don't even know what we'll win for number 3, but yeah, it should be a good one. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at MrLuke on my Facebook in the description below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.